So, what are your thoughts on the Game Awards?
Oh God, I have so many thoughts.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like I feel like it could be structured and paced in a way that is much more interesting, more fun.
I think
more
you need to
fun.
look in the nuance. Like you got to look at the fetishization of the Muppets. You know, what's his face really loves the Muppets.
So we agree that Geoff Keighley's fucking Miss Piggy, right?
Oh yeah.
He's something, yeah.
He's porking her.
Working her pun intended.
We did so well, High Tech. We did so well. You ruined it.
Welcome to Off the Console, episode 60. And today, I've got my co-host Gardiner, Bryant, and Games Revealed. And for those who don't know, we're the hottest podcast where we talk about gaming, tech news, and anything nerdy. And next week's Christmas. That's crazy, isn't it?
It's bananas.
Oh man, it feels like the year's gone on way too fast. Maybe it's because we've been having too much fun with this podcast.
That's probably it. Yeah.
It's that, and I've been swimming in slop, so you know, it makes the time go by fast.
We've all been swimming in Webster Merriam's Word of the Year, but that's not a topic for today. The topics for today, of course, are us saying goodbye to the LCD Steam Deck. Brings a little tear down to brings a little tear down, and we've let the Game Awards really marinate for about a week, and I think it's time for us to really talk about that too. And also a lot of Steam related news, lots of RAM news, and AI news. And did you know rats can play Doom now?
No.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk about that later, but for now, let's talk about what everyone's been doing today. Let's start with you, James. What have you been doing today? Or this past week?
This week?
Yes.
Today I woke up and I ate. That's what I did today. But for this week, I played Dispatch. I played and beat Dispatch. It's about a 6 to 7 hour game. It's pretty good. It's to call it a game is interesting. It's very much like an interactive comic.
It's a visual novel.
It's a visual novel. I mean, you do have like the dispatching part where you have to manage sending superheroes to go handle crimes and issues and stuff like that. That part was actually pretty fun, where you have to strategize who has the better strengths. You got to upgrade your heroes, then send them. It was simple, but I had a lot of fun playing it. I'll probably play through it again.
It's like a management sim, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but there's not a whole like that's only like half of the play time is that. The other half is cutscenes because it's a visual novel kind of style thing. Lots of choices to be made that determines how things go, and it is like it's more of an adult comic because you see a supervillain's penis like within 30 seconds of starting it up.
Oh,
so,
do they like blow it up or something?
But no.
Oh.
It's essentially like it's this acid dude or sludge or whatever, and so it burns all his clothes off and he's naked. I mean, makes sense. It'd be more realistic that way, I guess. But yeah, it's a more fun adult version of comics than some of the other stuff we have, like
The Boys.
The Boys is fun, but it's nerve wracking because jeez.
Have you read the Boys comic? It's kind of crazy.
I could only imagine.
Yeah. What about you, Gardner? What have you been playing or doing this week?
This week I have gone back to the old staple.
N64?
Dome Keeper. Dome Keeper.
Good one.
That is a good one.
I can't not play it. Also, I've been drinking a lot of coffee.
I really like the cup there. Too bad our audio listeners can't see it.
It says I'm a ray of effing sunshine on it. Yeah. And then let's see what else. I don't know. I've just been working really hard. Just writing and getting stuff up on the Bryant review. It's been fun. You posted an article there this week, High Tech.
Yes, I did. It's the Steam sale one. Yeah. Speaking of which, yeah, I've been trying to find because almost everything I want to buy, I've already bought at some point. So now I'm just trying to find some random hidden gems that are like $1 or some crap like that. Something that no one's ever heard of, because that's something I'm interested in, finding some weird hidden gems that no one's ever heard of until I play it, that is. And that's basically my week for this past week, just doing that and messing around, playing gacha games.
I mean, I looked at the cells too, and I'm like, do I need this? Do I not? I might buy 1 or 2 things. We'll see. But I'm not buying them at like super discounts. I'm buying them at like half. Like Kingdom Come, I kind of want to try that out, but I still don't know if I want to pay $30 to try something out.
If you wait a year, you'll pay $20 instead.
Yeah, but do I want to wait a year to play it? Probably.
Do you want to play new? But do you want to play new games?
Any new games?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. I was alluding to a topic. So to get the show started, we have to mourn the loss of a specific, I really do mean specific piece of hardware that's changed all of our lives. The Steam Deck LCD. Yeah. For those who don't know, the Steam Deck LCD was at one point just called the Steam Deck because that was the only model. And now, as you can see here, it will no longer be in production. So, if you look at Valve's website, if you were to try to buy a Steam Deck today, an LCD model, it says out of stock. And if you look at the note down here, it says, note, we are no longer producing the Steam Deck LCD 256GB model. Once sold out, it will no longer be available. And lo and behold, it's sold out.
Yeah. This is interesting. I'm curious your guys' thoughts on this, but I think I wonder if it's because of like RAM prices and it just doesn't make sense anymore to produce it, or I don't know. Like, what do you guys think?
It could be demand. It could be a mix between demand and I'm sure people still buy the $399. I'm hoping this preludes to like a drop in the OLED price, but with RAM prices, it might not happen. It is not the most RAM heavy device either. We got to remember it's 16 gigs all around unified, and so it doesn't get hit as hard as maybe the Legion Go, where it has double that. So it's sad, but it's also good because the OLED is just the better version all around.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that they kind of adjust prices down, but I think Valve would be the only company to do that, because every other company is just increasing prices.
I don't know if Valve can afford to lower the prices down. I mean, it would be nice to get a $400
they could afford
SKU.
It, but yeah.
But the bigger question is, would they lower the prices of the existing ones, or would they make a new SKU, like a new OLED model, a 256GB OLED model? Because if they don't do anything, it's a de facto price increase. You know, I mean, we get a better piece of kit, but like, it's still a price increase, right?
I don't see it that way.
Well, I've always believed that at least when with the 64GB model, when they first launched the Steam Deck, I think that was like basically at cost, right, for Valve, and it was kind of like there in order to have like that. This is the low end, and then if you can just go up a little bit and you get the mid tier, and that's really good compared to the low end storage, right? It was always kind of like a upsell for them, and not really like what they intended people to buy. And I think maybe at this point, the LCD model has been acting as that, like, this is the low tier, and for just a little bit more, you can get this tier, like the actual good one, right? But, you know,
there's psychology behind having a 3-tiered system, like 3 options. There's a lot of psychology behind that, but yeah.
Yeah, I would be interested to see if they end up introducing a 1TB or a 2TB model on the high end, and then having the 549 be the low end.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it? Am I wrong? The Steam Machine has a 2TB.
Yes, model. It does. It has a 512 and a 2TB model,
and that is also 2230. form factor, right?
It actually supports up to a 2280. The Steam machine does.
Okay, but the 2 terabyte is or is not 2230? Do we know?
The Steam Deck, the Steam machine.
Yeah.
I don't think we know what SSD Valve will be using. Especially, it's all in flux though, because SSD prices are going up as well.
Right. Yeah, it would be interesting though if Valve introduces a 2 terabyte high end Steam Deck.
Yeah, I could see them doing it. It's just, I wish they'd make it easier to upgrade. Like for us, and I've upgraded my so many different Steam Decks at this point. Mm-hmm. It's so easy, but if they made it easier, like there's a couple of devices out there. I'm trying to think of one that's easier. Ioneos tend to be a little easier sometimes. I don't know, but yeah, I'm kind of hoping they drop that the mid-tier OLED down to $399 or $499. Sorry, $499. And then do the 2 terabyte. I'm kind of hoping they do a little drop, but we'll see, I guess, on that.
So as you can see here, Valve's refurbished models are sold out entirely. Mm-hmm. Look, wow, that's crazy. You can get a 64 gigabyte Steam Deck for $279. Well, I mean, not anymore, but you could have.
Yeah.
There's the problem with this 64 is that a lot of that memory gets eaten up with either 1 or 2 games, unless you're really into like the small indie games, or cache and stuff like that. Like the 64 gigabyte was kind of a mistake to release at the time.
To be honest, I agree with you, because I had a friend that bought a 64 gigabyte model, and she bought a big SD card to compensate. But of course, I guess no one at the time knew that shader cache took up that much space.
Yeah, it was a cluster F. Like, it was complete cluster F. I remember dealing with that too. Because one of the models I got was a 64, and yeah, you'd have to use third-party tools to fix that. And so,
to be fair though, a lot of people bought the 64 gigabyte model with the intention of upgrading the storage at a much cheaper cost.
Oh, agreed. Like I do that all the time too, but you know that a good chunk of those were just people trying to get the best deal.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, thankfully Valve did change things up, and they made the 256 gigabyte model the base model. And then that's when they also introduced the OLEDs too, by the way. So the value proposition does change quite a bit, because everyone says the Steam Deck is $400 starting. Mm-hmm. But now everyone's going to have to say, oh, it's $550 starting. And for like an extra $50, you could get an ROG Ally, the original one with the Z1 Extreme. Now, I'm not saying that it's objectively better, but some people do value performance, and honestly, for $50, that's not a terrible upgrade. No OLED though, and probably worse battery life, to be honest.
And no SteamOS.
No SteamOS out of the gate. That's also another thing too.
Yeah, you'd have to install it, which definitely is worth it. Yeah, no, the performance increase you get with the Z1 Extreme is noticeable, but it gets just screwed by Windows. You get a huge bump actually when you upgrade to Bazzite or SteamOS. Like, even with the Z2 Extreme, I have a video comparing multiple games that I released a couple of weeks ago, and it was like a 30% increase over a lot of the games I tried that Bazzite gave. It was crazy how much Windows slogs it down.
So what's interesting though is that in this Windows Central article by I believe it was it's not Jez Gordon, it's another guy. It used to say here, we will provide support for the Steam Deck LCD on an ongoing basis. And it doesn't say that anymore. When I look at this, I loaded this, look, I can refresh it again just to show you guys. Yeah, look, see? It's not there anymore. So does this mean Valve isn't supporting the LCD models that are currently out there?
No, no.
I wouldn't imagine they would just cut support altogether.
They can't. Well, if they have
they did.
Yeah, I don't think they can cut support when they guaranteed support, but it's just they don't need that anymore if they're discontinuing it. So anyone that bought it has that already. This is a sales page.
I have heard some theories that people are suggesting that we might get another mini refresh, like a slightly upgraded Steam Deck OLED or some crap like that.
You know what? What would make sense is if a refreshed Steam Deck included like the specific hardware for gamepad compatibility, like Steam controller compatibility.
Oh, you mean like the puck?
Yeah.
That is a good point. I wouldn't mind that, but where would they put it?
I mean, it would be integrated like it is in the Steam machine.
That is a good point, but we'd have to wait until like the Steam controller actually releases for that to make sense, right? I mean,
Maybe,
they could release one now, but like,
I mean, theoretically, I don't know if this would even be possible, but theoretically, it's 2.4 gigahertz, and there's already a 2.4 gigahertz radio in your Steam Deck, so they might just be able to roll out some kind of software update that lets them bifurcate the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth radio to add that functionality. But I don't know how feasible that would be, but it could be. I mean, that's the thing about the Valve like doing the hardware and the software all together is like they can just kind of screw around with it and see if they can add a firmware update, you know, where they can multiplex a Bluetooth and a Steam controller signal. Who knows, right? That's just my speculation, but that's the nice thing about controlling the whole hardware stack.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. That's kind of a crazy thing to think about. Valve doing a refresh for that. I don't know.
That would be really weird to do a refresh just for that. If they're if they're changing the board, then yeah.
I don't think he's insinuating that Valve would only do that. Just like
I'm not saying that either per se. It's just what else would they bigger screen? They'd have to change the whole device unless they went with a more bezel-less. There's battery maybe could be improved a little bit. I don't know. I feel like at that point, if you have to change the casing and a lot of the process, because that costs money every time because they have moldings, they might as well just release the Steam Deck 2 at that point.
Yeah. I mean, some have also said, oh, this must be a sign that Valve's finally making the Steam Deck 2. I would love that for that to be the case, but Valve doesn't play by standard industry standard industry playbook because like they're privately owned and they just kind of do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, neither does Xbox because everything's an Xbox now, and that's not standard. But I mean, 2027's the years that it's predicted for Steam Deck 2, and that based on console release cycles, that's kind of like a console release cycle right there. So that is kind of the release. So if they release 2027, they're going by the playbook, I guess.
Hey, man, maybe they'll announce it this year, 2026. Valve's gonna make a New Year's resolution, announce the Steam Deck 2, and show it off, and invite people like Linus Tech Tips and Wired to our headquarters again.
Yeah, no, that would be interesting. I'd be excited for something like that, of course. But I don't know if they'd replace this tier with anything in the meantime. If they're going to come out with a Steam Deck 2 in like 2027, I don't know why they would do some type of weird refresh unless it's like the 2 terabyte, like Gardiner mentioned. That's the only one that would make sense to me.
Yeah, bump down the prices of the 512 and 1 terabyte, introduce a new 2 terabyte at the... Yeah. I think some people would get kind of pissed though, especially if they were to like buy it now and then like a week later the 2 terabyte for $649 comes out.
I think the 2 terabyte would be closer to $7. I think what would happen is the existing SKUs would just move down a slot and there'd be a higher priced 2 terabyte model on the no
$400. Dang.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely don't. Yeah, that OLED's not going to be $400. I'm hoping we'd be lucky if it's like $499, like essentially $500, even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they do change the price, I think that's where they would go. $499.
That's the only way they could go, and we'd be lucky in this type of market if we got that.
Yeah.
What the heck is Disney Dreamlight Valley?
It's one of Emily's favorite games. It's kind of like Stardew Valley, but with Disney characters.
Is it? I thought it was a
Yeah.
little bit like a offline MMO style. Like you get to wander a world,
Yeah, you
interact with it.
do. But I think it's. I mean, my that's how Emily has described it to me.
Yes, it's just an open world.
Mm.
Dreamlight Valley. I'm googling it now.
Because I'm looking at the top played Steam Deck games, and as you can see here,
Yeah. It's a life simulation adventure game by Gameloft Montreal. The game has players tend to a magical valley populated with various Disney and Pixar characters who previously underwent a curse that caused them to lose their memories of their lives in the valley. Yeah.
some sort of Disney multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are there Marvel characters or Star Wars characters though?
Oh, I don't know.
Can I meet Spider-Man in here?
You should download it and give it a try later. Let us know.
Man, it's only 30. It's only 30% off. Fuck that noise.
Dude,
Oh,
Emily plays that game all the time. Like that is her favorite game right now, I think.
Maybe we should bring Emily onto the show at one point and ask and interrogate her about this.
Interrogator.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Arc Raiders.
I didn't know Arc was supported. Interesting.
It is, yeah. I didn't know it was verified, but I knew the anti-cheat worked on Linux. Easy anti-cheat. Wow, that's proof. Wow, Apex. Wow, why can't Apex Legends do that?
Well, it's going to... Well, Apex did support it, then they took it away. So this will support it probably for a year, and they'll take it away once they get their cells. Yeah.
Unless the Steam machine sells enough.
No, yeah. I do think we'll silently get more support for multiplayer games on SteamOS. I really think that's probably the way they're going to have to go, so they don't eat too much shit.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see like 4.5, 5, maybe 6% of like Steam users being Linux, like Linux and SteamOS on the hardware survey next year. I think it's going to start to grow rapidly. We're going to hit critical mass, and like once we get to like 6, 7, 8%, maybe 10%. Stop. Once we get to around like 8 or 9%, that's when I think like game publishers are going to not be able to justify not supporting Linux.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think
agree too.
The performance and the experience is so much better than Windows at this point. And even with Windows Xbox full screen experience or whatever they call it, that is an okay experience. They definitely need to hire better UX people though.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the Windows gaming thing is that it's like one tiny little team in this like the entire Microsoft like machine, and it's a niche upon a niche that Microsoft really couldn't give two fucks about later on. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna this is like the tail on the elephant swatting at flies, right? Because right now Linux is just kind of a fly flying around this elephant that is Microsoft. They don't care, man. Like they make the vast majority of their money in cloud. PC gaming is nothing to them. And especially on a handheld, they do not care, except for this little team in Microsoft who aren't going to be able to make the kind of structural changes that they need to, frankly, Windows, which is a platform that Microsoft doesn't even care about anymore. Like everything is moving in Microsoft, the institution is moving away from like end consumer marketing. I just don't see the Windows gaming mode being a thing.
I think they greatly care for Windows, but they care for it as a delivery system for AI to get people hooked to their AI, which new reports are showing that people give no F's about Copilot. So they're having to pivot. We'll see what Microsoft does in the next year or two, because what we're talking about might change greatly, because I think they're pivoting right now a little bit, because they're
pivoting after investing a crap load of money in AI sounds not great. Business wise, I mean,
it's just going to happen. I mean, they might pivot the AI, they might pivot. There's a lot of things, but people don't like AI getting shoved into their system in such a violent manner.
Not to mention, like, Windows itself, not even the AI portions of Windows, just like the regular, like, Windows portions is extremely messed up too. Like, they have to preload the file explorer. Like, what? They preload the bloat, they don't fix the bloat? What kind of nonsense is that?
You'd want to preload it anyways. Like, they should be doing more preloading if they're
well, I mean, when Explorer crashes, it takes down the start bar, like the task bar. So like, how is it not preloaded anyway? Like, but to your point, high tech. I mean, the fact that they, aren't fixing the jank and the bloat, and they're just kind of doing like the Donkey Kong 64 fix where they pack the the expansion pack in instead of fixing the actual issue. It's like that's just Microsoft for you.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. Even with a small team, in fact, arguably with a small team, you can do more if you don't have too much handcuffs. The Xbox full screen mode with one person could make that more of a better user experience for handhelds and TV people for this type of stuff. I'm just saying, all they'd really have to do is mimic SteamOS just a little bit, and they'd be there. But they're not. So yeah, it's not a great experience.
Well, they can't. I genuinely believe that Microsoft, like, structurally is incapable of the kind of agility that that a team would need to have to compete with what Valve is doing with SteamOS. Like, Microsoft is just like, there is no single team that can make a decision that can't be countermanded by C-level corporate executives. And and to the point you made earlier, James, about Microsoft still cares about Windows as a delivery system for AI. That's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And it's also a delivery system for Office 365 and all of these other, like, OneDrive and all this other bullshit.
OneDrive, that's the thing. I think I hate it more than AI.
Yeah,
I hate it. Crashes my Explorer. So doing game development sucks on Windows. Oh, okay.
The thing is, though, it's like Microsoft literally cannot build a streamlined and focused version of Windows without these other special interests within Microsoft foisting all this extra crap into that gaming experience, right? That's just, it's fundamentally opposed to the way Microsoft makes money, the interests that all the other, like, Windows teams have. I just don't see it as possible.
Yeah,
that is a good point.
They gotta break up that monopoly. We should have broke it up. We need to break up all the monopolies. We'd get better products.
Yeah,
but I mean,
so I could go on for ages about this.
I could too. You brought, oh my gosh, you got me thinking about the OneDrive.
But we shouldn't distract us from the fact that the LCD is unfortunately dead. R.I.P. Steam Deck LCD.
Yep.
R.I.P.
And with that said, though, the Game Awards. No one got a free Steam Deck at the Game Awards because they're not doing that anymore, which is kind of lame.
I guess.
Yeah, so
they can't. They sold out of the LCDs that they would have given away. So
what are your thoughts on the Game Awards?
Oh God, I have so many thoughts.
Really?
Oh yeah. I think I'm done with the Game Awards.
Well, you're not going to watch it next year with us?
Well, I'll watch it with you, but like I had a little bit of enthusiasm going into it. Probably misplaced. But
Half-Life
like
3.
Well, yeah, that's been almost the entire reason I've ever watched the Game Awards is the Half-Life 3 announcement. But like, I wrote a post about this on my site, and there were 6 games that stood out to me. Right,
what were
out
they?
Of 6 games, they were Tank Rat, Bradley the Badger, The Free Shepherd, Coven of the Chickenfoot, For Loop, and Order of the Sinking Star.
No Mega Man?
No, I have literally no interest in Mega Man.
But Mega Man's so good.
I disagree. But the thing is, there were like something like 45 announcements according to IGN, and like less than 14% of them had any interest to me at all. And I was just, I don't know. it was to me.
I did read that article, and you had some thoughts on the Divinity trailer.
Oh yeah, that was horrible. I genuinely, that was one of the most uncomfortable moments for me. It was so violent. I just couldn't get over how violent it was. And I did not like watching a human figure, even an animated figure, suffer like that. It just, yeah.
I thought it was a Diablo trailer, to be honest, at first.
Well, the other thing is, like, okay, did you guys notice, was there an orgy that was happening in that trailer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was so, like, disturbed by the violence that I didn't even notice the orgy happening.
Yeah, they were banging.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Didn't, like, literally, I was completely unfazed by that. It was like, yeah, wild to me. And then the thing is, it's like, you know, back in, what was it, like 2021 or something, Mortal Kombat 11, there was like that developer who was saying like how the higher ups at the company were like, you need to reference real gore and actual violence and stuff in order to make the fatalities more realistic. And like, that's like a thing that like a lot of developers now at these companies have to seek mental health treatment for. And I was curious as to, like, were the developers at Larian being asked to like to reference real gore when making that violent depiction? It made me deeply uncomfortable, dude.
I'm sure they were using AI, which we will talk about that. We will talk about that because that was a really hot topic.
I don't think they used AI for that type of thing.
Well, but, they said they were using it for like concepting. But
yeah,
we'll talk.
That's not concepting though.
Well, we'll talk more about that later though, because that's a whole can of worms in and of itself, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought so. I grew up on violent video games. I'm the problem. I liked the trailer. I don't like Larian's style of games that much. Like Baldur's Gate 3 is fun. Too many decisions for me, and I don't like the gameplay. The combat. It gets a little frustrating after a while, just the type of strategizing you have to do. Yeah, I was also disappointed that wasn't the end game, and the big reveal for the night was some mid-tier Overwatch clone.
Yeah,
I was not happy about that.
It's releasing in January, dude.
But it's free to play,
because
dude.
It's a live service game, so they can release it quicker. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it right now. So
people are calling it Concord 3 after Marathon.
Okay, that's crazy because it does look better than that, but it doesn't offer, like, Overwatch has what I want. It has sci-fi goofiness. That's perfect for me. That one had like fantasy / sci-fi / maybe some goofiness to it. I don't know. I will say though, as far as the Game Awards go, I was eating pretty good. I mean, anything more would have been like Half-Life 3 or like a Dead Space revival, obviously. But I will say my top picks from that were Control Resonant. I'm a huge Control and like Alan Wake person. I love the games. I love the stories in them. I thought Tank Rat looked really interesting. No Law, very gory, but I'm a big Cyberpunk fan also, and it looked like it might actually be a more action-packed Cyberpunk than 2077. Resident Evil looked great. And then Ontos, it is from one of the games that I just found fascinating a few years ago to play. And so having them come back and make something like Ontos, like I'm really excited for this one. I really like the thought-provoking that their previous games had. So, like, how much thought they put into it. It gets you thinking. And honestly, it's influenced some of my game that I'm working on too. So, yeah.
So I got to see a couple of games that I'm interested in. First on this list is Phantom Blade Zero. It's not a new game announcement. They've announced it and showed off a few times, but it looks pretty sick. I'll also
point out, I think Badger, or the Bradley the Badger one, just to point out real quick, was the surprise one where I started watching. I'm like, oh, this I don't know about. And then I watched more. I'm like, this is actually gonna be really fun. I'm really excited for that one too.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first one that really piqued my interest, I think.
Apparently, it stars Evan Peters, best known as Quicksilver in the fairly recent X-Men movies
Interesting.
and American Horror Story.
He didn't last very long, right? That Quicksilver.
Is
Is that the one that died? No.
No. He's the X-Men one,
the X-Men,
the Marvel
yeah,
one.
Yeah,
Not the Fox one.
Yeah.
See, Game of Dragon looks pretty good too. They released some screenshots. They got Ma Dong-suk.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was wondering about that.
And I mean, we got new Mega Man. Apparently, Gardner doesn't like Mega Man.
No.
I'll be honest.
I kind of wish it was Mega Man X. What? You don't like Mega Man either?
I'm not
I
a
much
side-scrolling
prefer-
kind of person.
I much prefer DuckTales.
I actually agree with that. If they released a new DuckTales, I played that a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
Come on, no
Mega
one likes
Man-
Mega Man here. That's crazy.
Mega Man's good. I respect that it's a good game. It just doesn't captivate me after I've played. I've never beat one, but I used to play it as a kid.
I played
Have
it
you
as a
played Mega
kid.
Man X though?
No. See,
No.
I played the original Mega Man, and it was like I didn't really care for it. It was too frustrating. I prefer Mario.
Okay, but have you played Mega Man X though? It's way
No.
better.
I think a better comparison was you prefer Metroid, right?
Oh yeah, I like Metroid a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
What's
Shovel Knight's fun too. Like Shovel Knight's kind of in
Yeah.
that vein, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like DuckTales if it were also Mega Man.
Yeah.
But does it have a cartoon to go along with it that you can watch every Saturday morning?
DuckTales. Ooh.
Yeah, Street
I
Fighter
love
movie.
DuckTales. I like unironically, I watch that shit sometimes. As an
Street
adult.
Fighter movie looks like
What's wrong with that?
delicious garbage.
Oh.
I'll probably be watching it.
Oh, it's definitely slop, but I'm gonna enjoy it.
I like this one, but it's Switch exclusive, which is sad.
I guess
Orbitals.
campy is the better word for it. It's campy.
Yeah. Orbitals actually look kind of cool to me, but if it's a Switch
Mm.
exclusive, I am not going to play it.
It might come out on Switch late. I mean, Steam later. I don't think there's any I don't think there's any financial incentive. There's not like a Nintendo funded game or anything. So
Right. But if it doesn't have a Steam page for me to wish list, I'm going to forget about it.
no, I'll remind you one day. And of course, everyone's favorite game, Concord 2. I mean 3.
High
Oh my gosh.
high chord.
High Chord. High Guard basically just sounds like Overwatch. High
It is.
over
If
guard.
you replace
watch.
it, it's
Mhm.
Overwatch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
That's
synonyms.
stupid.
It's funny.
That is funny.
It's funny.
Comes out in
With
a month.
horses. Overwatch with horses.
Paladins is Overwatch with horses.
Yeah.
It's true. I played a little bit of Paladins.
Does it have
too.
horses in Paladin?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I'll show you.
I played
will
it. I don't
say-
remember. I've played.
I will say
Hmm.
that High Guard, the art style, is like not offensive to me, where the art style in most are those
Hero
games
shooters?
is like so like boring and uninspired.
But not Overwatch. Oh, dude, Overwatch is so interesting in my opinion. But it's
Really?
Blizzard, and they has
See-
the remnants of the Blizzard art style, which I love so much. So
Real oh man, I am the exact opposite. Like Blizzard's art style
I love Blizzard's art
pisses
style.
me
Love it.
off. It makes me so angry. Ugh.
Which one, the cartoonish one or like the Diablo one?
The Warhammer ripoff bullshit.
I agree.
StarCraft
Diablo
and
3
Warcraft.
looked like
Ugh.
Warcraft.
I love it so much.
It's so
I mean, I
bad.
like
It's one of my
it,
favorite
but,
art styles.
I
Really?
prefer the Diablo gothic style. It might be a little
Yeah.
too violent for Gardner, but
Well, look, I know I was like harping on violence. Like I grew up playing violent games too, but like violent games when we were kids were like not in any way that realistic. That's the problem I had. It was just like if you paused it at any moment, it was like photo real. The only thing that like doesn't look photo real is the animation. Like I don't know. It bothered me like deeply.
That's fair
I'm sorry I'm
enough.
such a wuss, guys.
No. We're all different play styles. It's totally fine.
I'm more offended by the fact that you don't like Mega Man.
Yeah. I don't think High Tech's handling this very well.
I like the music in Mega Man.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. The music is pretty good. So yeah, the Game Awards was controversial. A lot of people had issue with the fact that Expedition won all the awards almost,
Yeah.
especially the indie awards too.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Clearly it was a very great game and it deserved to win, right? But the fact that it was nominated for so many categories and it won almost every category it was nominated for, it really robbed the show of any semblance of stakes, right? It's like
no tension.
Yeah, there was no tension. It was like, why am I watching this show if I already know who's going to win each category? Like, why am I watching?
How do you solve that? I mean, I'm just saying,
I don't think you can.
Expedition was all the categories it got nominated for. I think there was one or two games that deserved it over it, but it was so close that it was subjective.
Well,
it's the role of the judges.
I think that's an issue with the greater games industry as opposed to the award show itself. They should have just made games that were as good as Expedition. Am I right, fellas?
Partially.
Yeah, that's easy to say.
But it's it's one of those. Here, I'll say this right now. It was not a AAA title. So it was kind of a spit in the face that Ubisoft was over there sitting there like, what the do we just do? We let these guys go and they make this.
Mm-hmm.
That they're a little bitter. So for me, it was kind of a spit in the face of the AAA, which was kind of nice in some ways because maybe it will wake them up, or just at the bare minimum, kind of just get them a little bit. But that's how I saw it.
I mean, hey man, it got the flowers it deserved. Maybe next year we'll have a better show. Maybe we'll have a show where we have more than one viable game for every category. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll have to say the best indie game one that they had is they didn't have a lot of choices to go up against Clair Obscur. Like Blueprints is good, but I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking of a different indie game that could have been placed in this, but.
Well, the big question is whether or not it should count as indie because, they had quite a bit of a budget and they also had a Hollywood actor in there too, Charlie Cox, Daredevil.
Was that early on though? I think there was a lot of stakes going into it for them early on and then they polished it off at the end. So,
well, the fact that their publisher had enough money to put half of the game announcements on screen at the Game Awards kind of robs them of the indie cred in my book.
Well, they got that money from that's they probably spent the money that they earned this year from Expedition because it made so much.
Yeah, but if the publisher went to them and funded even half of the development time, I just feel like that is not the spirit of indie games.
Yeah, it's a really hard one for me.
It's tough. I mean, dude, it's like Doodlings, right? I financed that myself. That's an indie game, right? And it's if I made a bunch of money from Doodlings and then I turned around and started paying other developers to make games, I feel like those other developers wouldn't have the same indie cred that I had when I made Doodlings. I don't know. It's just if indie to me means independent. And if you have a publisher that is going to front the cost of developing a game and B, make a bunch of money from the game that they are publishing, then that's not independent.
Yeah.
But then we'd have to take into account the fact that other companies like Valve are, technically independent too. So, and no one in the right mind would argue that Dota or Counter-Strike or Half-Life
3 would not be if it was just an indie game, slot. I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
But Valve started out being published by Sierra, right?
Right.
And and when you're at that level where you can self-publish and it's not a risk, that's not indie either.
Yeah, so there needs to be a better definition of what indie is, because I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of contention points with this indie category too, because like remember a few years ago, Dave the Diver was nominated for indie despite literally not even like being an indie studio published by Nexon, but literally the studio is a subsidiary of Nexon, and they're a very big company.
I think I'm just of the opinion that they need to rework the whole like tier system of A, AA, AAA. Just rework it.
Yeah.
Make a game awards for each one and have better. It's one of those ones. I wish they would have had a better indie game selection. I just like Dispatch is good, but it's barely a game.
I mean, here's the other thing too: is that AA games don't really get the attention because, like, let's look at the Game Awards. We have awards for Game of the Year and all that stuff. They usually get taken up by a bunch of AAAs, right? And then you have specific awards for indie games. But what happens to the AA games that aren't indie, but also aren't, like, big enough to be those AAA games that get all the attention?
Hades 2 is a AA, isn't it?
No, technically it's considered
Technically
indie.
it's self... But it makes so much money.
I mean, I would say that Hades 2 would be a AA game, right? Like that, like
it's
Bastion was an indie game, right? Probably. I don't remember. I feel like it was published by somebody, but like Bastion would be closer to an indie game, but they've made so much money and they've been so successful that now their self-publishing efforts I would say are AA.
So Bastion was apparently published by Warner Bros.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Was that in the beginning, like when they first released, or was that eventually?
No,
because a lot of these indie games will release and do really well, and then they get picked up by publishers to publish onto like Nintendo Switch and stuff.
Let's check the Steam page.
Interesting.
So it says now that it's published by Supergiant, so maybe they bought the publishing rights from Warner Bros.
Warner Brothers is so stupid with their IPs, or with their like.
I'm not worried. Yeah, Warner Bros. Is another like can of worms in and of itself.
Jeez.
But then Supergiant Games did start publishing their own games with their next game, Transitor.
Yeah.
And then Hades 1 and 2.
I think part of the problem too is that some people will say they only play indie games. And so if you have a game like Hades 2 where its heart is in the indie space per se, like it doesn't go too complicated, doesn't go too massive, but it would still play a lot like a lot of the other indie games. Would someone that only plays indie games play it, even if they knew that it was triple or like a AA? Where I don't know.
Well, I mean,
semantics.
I mean, at what point does an indie game developer become AA? That's the other thing too.
At what point does it matter? I guess too.
Yeah,
it's another thing.
Yeah, that's also a thing too. Is that when people say they only play indie games, what they're really saying is they don't play AAA games, and I mean that's totally fine too. I mean they'll play some. I mean I like a lot of AA games too. AA games that aren't necessarily indies, but also definitely are not AAA games. Like Mega Man would be a AA game, truth be told. Even though Capcom is a big AAA studio, it's clearly not a AAA game, so to speak, right?
Right.
I'm sorry, High Tech. It's Capcom, but yeah, it's you're not wrong. It plays like a AA, and it looks like it's funded like a AA, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean that distinction of like AA, AAA, it all has to do with the budget, right? It's like, so I would say Mega Man. It depends. It really depends. But like,
I mean, clearly they're not putting Resident Evil money into Mega Man, right? Or Street Fighter money into Mega Man, right? That'd be ludicrous. Maybe they did that like once upon a time ago with like Mega Man on the PS2, but like Mega Man X on the PS2, but like they certainly aren't doing it today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Game Awards and with a lot of people, I mean, Gardiner, I'm not trying to target you on this. A lot of people complain about the Game Awards, and I don't know. I think just it was good enough. It could have been better hopefully it'll be better next year, but It's a commercial
So
kind of
yeah.
I mean,
awards show. It was fine.
It felt like, I mean, I watch the Super Bowl because I enjoy football, but that's not why people watch the Super Bowl. They watch it for the ads,
So
which is fine. Most people watch it for the ads, right? Or the halftime show. But it felt like the Game Awards was just the ads and it was just like the worst Super Bowl game you've ever seen. Like that's how it felt to me. It was just ads with a bit of the halftime show with featuring Evanescence, and then it was like it was just ads, and the trailers, make no mistake, are ads. Like they pay $250,000 for to get featured there. So it's like,
I don't think it's $250,000 anymore. I think it's straight up $1 million now.
is it $1 million?
Yeah,
well, I think it was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
I come for that though. I come for the trailer reveals and stuff like that.
I think that's the thing with the Game Awards, though. It's trying to be.
I don't know.
It's trying to be both E3 and the Oscars, because like if we look at the Oscars, I don't believe they make announcements at the Oscars besides who wins, right?
Right.
Oh, it's so boring.
Yeah, the Oscars is boring, right? And so I like the fact that like an award show that's like celebrating the games industry is trying to be fun, even if it's like the same. It's falling victim to the same like hype train bullshit that the games industry like thrives on.
I don't know. I thought Will Smith smacking Chris Rock was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, you only get that once a century.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be like I feel like it could be structured and paced in a way that is much more interesting, more fun.
I think you need to look in the nuance. Like you got to look at the fetishization of the Muppets. You know,
we agree that Geoff Keighley's fucking Miss Piggy, right?
Oh yeah,
he's something. Yeah,
he's porking her.
Porking her, pun intended.
We did so well, High Tech. We did so well. You ruined it.
But yeah, Game Awards. Hopefully, we'll have less Miss Piggy and more Kermit the Frog, or Big Bird.
Kermit's gonna come up and slap him. That'd be hilarious.
Maybe we can have some Sesame Street characters. Remember when Sesame Street collabed with Game of Thrones, of all things?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they did.
Know they did that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Elmo, Tyrion and Cersei Lannister are arguing because and then Elmo comes up and teaches them about respect, and then the tagline ends with "Respect is coming." It's the funniest thing ever. You guys gotta.
I love that a show about like incest and murder is being featured on Sesame Street. It's pretty cool. I've never watched Game of Thrones, so I don't know. That's all I've heard.
But you have watched Sesame Street, right?
Oh hell yeah, dude! I love Sesame Street.
There's a Game of Thrones parody, and here's Elmo talking to Tyrion and Cersei.
Oh, it's the guy from the moon, right? From the
look at this shit. It's real.
Wow. That's what you get with all the
oh shit! Now my recommended's being filled up with Sesame Street stuff. I can't keep looking at this.
Nice. Well, okay. I mean,
all right.
You could do worse than having Sesame Street recommended to you on
yeah, YouTube. I could. But let's talk about the Steam sale.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys bought anything?
No.
Neither have I.
The Steam sale is the same. So once you've like padded your library pretty well over the years with Steam sales, it gets harder and harder to find a deal because you've already eaten up all the good deals. And some of the games that come out now, you'll get like a good deal, but they do 4 sales a year. So every sale, I probably buy 1 or 2 games. I don't look that hard anymore. I just look for the games I'm kind of excited for on my wish list. I have my wish list, watch list, and that's what I kind of go after.
Also, they've also done 2 new events with the Steam sale, the winter one more specifically. First is the Steam Awards. Oh boy, another award ceremony. I can't wait to argue about how... So this one, unlike the Game Awards, is 100% community voted, which means it's going to be some bullcrap. Truth be told. Let's be honest. Most gamers
Democracy.
are not.
It was a mistake.
All right, so what do we got here? We got Dispatch, Kingdom Come, Expedition, Silksong, Arc Raiders. Look, Shroud got his wish. Arc Raiders is nominated for Game of the Year somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really big multiplayer game, so I'm not shocked.
Yeah, let's see. VR Game of the Year. I don't know much about VR games, to be honest. Labor of Love. Really? Well, actually, that's true. They're all labors of love. Maybe even Dota 2. I don't know. I've never played
Twisted
Dota 2.
Love. With
Twisted
Rust.
Love. Gaben loves Dota 2, so maybe that's his labor of love.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Best Steam game on Steam Deck. Ooh. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor.
I'd probably vote for Deep
Digimon?
Rock Galactic Survivor.
Dude, I gotta vote for Digimon. Let's see. Hades, Ball X Pit, Clover Pit. Better with Friends Awards. Oh, this is the Friend Slap game that people were complaining about.
Friend Slop. Oh my god. Okay, they're good games. Like, these are indie games. These are true indie games of like made by just like one or two people.
The only like true friend slop things are like games that are exclusively multiplayer, like free to play bullshit, like Fortnite. That's friend slop.
I could see that.
I could see that.
Like Repo and Peak are good, and they're very fun. But yeah, have you played? So have you played Peak then, High Tech?
No, I'm just voting because I haven't played any of those.
Peak's really fun. I think Gardiner would like it.
Peak?
It might de-stress him.
There
too.
you go. Voted for Silksong. I'm doing my part.
You should show the Gardiner the Peak trailer. Can you just hover over it while it play? Sometimes it does.
Oh, here we go. You guys can't hear it, can you?
No.
It's just a bunch of guys talking on their mics, like they're playing multiplayer.
So you have to climb up these mountains, these trees, whatever, and sometimes you have to work with each other, like with to get up to places, and you find items to use, like these mushrooms and stuff. But yeah, you're just trying to get to the peak of these mountains, these areas, to then continue climbing up the progressive ladder.
Wow, that guy fell down. Oh my god.
It's intense because once you get to the top and you slip, you're just like, no, as you fall down.
So it's getting over it with friends.
Yeah, so we're all in this together. Gardner, we're gonna get over it together.
Yeah.
Let's see.
No, that looks cool. I like that.
It's fun.
Outstanding visual style. We got My Little Puppy. Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yes, more brown.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. The second one. Silent Hill F and dude, it's this game. Anna's Dream Barbecue.
Dream Barbecue.
I haven't played it yet, but I do like the art style of that series. I'm gonna vote for it. It's also on YouTube. I don't know. Let's see. Most Innovative Gameplay Award. Dude.
Blueprints.
Blueprints
100%.
is objectively the... What's Mage Arena, though? I'm curious. Co-op PvP experience. It's $3. What is this?
It's Mage Arena. Your mage is in an arena.
Dude, I could do that in a lot of other games. Oh, look. Best Game You Suck At Award. Silksong.
They put Rivals in there.
Dude, that's because most people suck, let's be honest.
I guess.
Best
it's a hero shooter, so...
award.
Wait, Deltarune came out this year?
Officially, I think so, but there's still 2 chapters that are... Yo, wait, why is this a Japanese trailer? Look, it says chapter 1 and 2 are waiting, and then Sans is speaking Japanese. What is it? Why would they do that? Why would Toby Fox do this?
Is this the first time we're seeing Expedition 33? Are PC gamers just bitter?
No, we've seen Expedition 33 in a few of these categories.
I just haven't been paying attention.
It wasn't in Game of the Year. I voted for Silksong, though. Let's see. Oh, shit. This is a hard one.
My vote's for Deltarune. Toby Fox is like an amazing musician.
Toby Fox is good. It's the story game. Yo, where's Expedition? I thought it won Story of the Year. See, no, I'm
Just
not.
don't know what they
human.
want. Expedition should be on there, but
I'll vote Dispatch.
Dispatch was all story, so that's safe.
Let's
Did you
see,
play
sit back
Dispatch?
and- No,
High tech?
no.
Okay. Have you watched any of it?
Some of it, but not. Let's see, what are these cozy games? Oh man, they have a whole category for cozy games. You're kidding me.
Haven't they always?
Must have forgotten.
Cozy games are so cozy. Slam
What do you
Rancher
have against
too.
being cozy, high tech?
Yeah, I'm stressed all the time.
If a game isn't a constant struggle for survival, I don't want it.
You need more stress
that
in your real life.
explains Mega Man.
Oh. Slime Rancher 2 on there is really good. But it's so similar.
It's like the
Slime
opposite
Rancher
of
1.
stress. It's like the opposite of sit back and relax. Unless you get a really good run. That Megamonica I have played. A lo-fi... Is this even a game? What is this? It looks like a calculator. It looks like a bunch of random shit. To-do list. Is this like your actual to-do list?
It's a waifu simulator.
It's a waifu simulator?
I don't know.
You got his. You piqued his interest. He's like, man, maybe I will play a cozy game.
I gotta go with Megapunk though. Actually, can I change my vote yet? Yeah, I can change my vote.
Have you played Have any of you guys played Slime Rancher before? It's pretty fun.
Oh, I played the first Slime Rancher.
Yeah.
No,
I really liked it.
That was good.
All right, so there, I voted for my Steam awards. Oh, this game looks interesting though. I've seen it's like
Resident
Evil, but like as a traditional roguelike, more like rogue, turn-based, grid-based. You see what's going on, right? Yeah, this looks interesting. I might try it out. In fact, it's on sale. Shit,
Sub Necrosis.
it's $10. Why not?
AK House of the Dead.
Oh, and Ratatan's on sale too. It's made by the guys that made Patapon. You guys ever play that?
I love Patapon.
It's made by the same guys. Which is funny because they also released Patapon on Steam at some point. 1 and 2 remastered.
Oh, I didn't know Patapon was on Steam. That's awesome.
Yeah, Bandai Namco apparently is publishing this now. I don't know when it came out of Sony's hands, but I sure hope they release Gravity Rush on Steam.
Yeah, that's one that they should release.
Yeah,
On Steam for sure.
I gotta look for more games. Oh, Void War's out.
No, you need to stop. We've got the most exciting portion up next. Our next for me topic.
All right, so let me add this.
What the Steam Machine's launching with. It doesn't need
Half-Life 3. Oh my goodness.
I apologize, High Tech. I'm just too excited for this.
I know. Half-Life 3 as a Steam Machine launch title.
I'm here for
Exclusive?
No, dude, exclusive would piss off the entire internet. Dude, let's be honest.
You joke, but that would be awesome.
If they did a
Just to
Steam
piss off
Machine
everybody.
exclusive for 1 month alone, would how like
You know how like
that'd be funny.
There's no way they could do it as a Steam Machine exclusive, but if it was a Linux exclusive, that would just like make me laugh.
I'm done. I'm down for that. Kind of a little bit of justice.
Equally piss off the entire internet too. That would like you like imagine waiting like 20 years for Half-Life and then you have to install Linux to play Half-Life 3. Like you know
They come out and like, don't you have a Steam Deck to play it on?
You
do the whole mobile phone thing.
You want to see 40% Linux adoption overnight. That's how you do it right there.
You probably would get a huge
okay.
spike.
I need to clarify that I am fucking joking, okay? Like, I don't actually want that to happen. People, dude, if you go like, man, I got notified because I have like a Google alert on my name, right? And I got a Google alert on a Reddit thread a couple of months ago, and it was like someone shared one of my videos on Reddit, and one of the comments underneath it was like, Gardner Bryant, oh, you mean that guy who just wants Linux exclusives and hates PC gaming? And I was like, what are you talking about? Anyway, sorry. That's a whole...
That's
He
hilarious.
hates PC gaming, but isn't Linux part of the PC gaming world?
Yeah,
Obviously
I guess.
not, dude.
Hey,
PC equals Windows, duh.
I'll say this right now, Internet. Gardner convinced me I do want Linux exclusives, so...
Yeah, Linux exclusives are the future, man. Windows is
Thanks,
going the
Gardner.
way of the dinosaur, bro.
Dude,
Ah,
you're
man.
welcome, and welcome to the party.
But real talk though, rising RAM prices could affect Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
This is what happens when you sleep on a hit, Valve.
So, how
Is it going to affect? Let's just release the damn game. Release it. Release the game. You
No,
might want to tie it to the hardware, but you can release it. Half-Life 3 is not going to get affected by RAM prices at all. If you want to choose to go that route, you can.
no, it has to be it has to release with the Steam machine. That way you can maximize sales.
I don't even know if the Steam machine is going to get hit by RAM prices in the first year. They probably have such a big allotment, and they've already, if they're releasing in Q1, they already have the devices made. Depending on how much they're going to make for Q2, Q3, Q4, I think it might depend on sales, and they might still come, like, that might be affected, but the launch should not be affected. So
I don't know, man. I agree. I don't think it's going to be affected by RAM during the first year, but I don't know what's going to happen.
I think people are freaking out about the RAM thing maybe a little too much. I think it's a big deal, but we already have everyone that PC games right now already has a PC that they can game on. So, and I don't think Half-Life 3 is going to be they're usually highly optimized, the Half-Lives are. So I think it's going to play on everyone's hardware.
Also, not to mention, Valve doesn't pay the same price as we do for RAM. They pay business to business rates. And while, yeah, I'm sure those are going up in price as well, it's still...
They're greatly going up in price. Samsung can't even get their own RAM from their own facilities. So,
they're going to go up in price, but it's still going to be cheaper than buying them individually, right? B2B is just a bulk discount. It's going to be better no matter what.
It's a bulk hit. Yep.
Yeah, it's a bulk discount. I mean, it's like buying stuff off of Costco. It's more expensive up front, but per unit it ends up being cheaper.
Yeah, and it's 16 gigs for that's coming into the Steam machine, and then 8 gigs as the VRAM. So yeah, it's not even like crazy high, but we'll see.
I mean, a lot of people are more concerned about the VRAM though. The 8 gigs of VRAM, especially since a lot of conventional wisdom seems to be pointing towards VRAM being the current issue with modern video games.
Yes and no. I'm a big proponent of using, especially with these mid-range devices, using some type of FSR. If they get, and it's rumored, I think strongly rumored that they're going to have like a version of FSR 4 on it. It won't matter. The 8 gigs doesn't matter as much. My preference would be to have 12 gigs, of course, but
fair enough. And speaking of the Steam machine, it's rumored that Lenovo is going to be making a SteamOS version of the Legion Go 2. Now, it's going to have the same specs as the currently existing one, but it's going to run SteamOS out of the gate. And it's rumored to show up at CES, so if anyone's going to CES this year, and you do find Lenovo, you should see if they have one in there. I mean,
I can already put SteamOS on mine. I have Bazite. Maybe I'll install SteamOS because I'll do a Bazite SteamOS comparison.
Do it for the content, man.
So the biggest thing with this is that it means that SteamOS is like making their drivers even better for the color management and some other things that are on the Legion Go 2. The Legion Go 2 has some, from my understanding, I haven't installed it yet, but I've read up on this, that the Legion Go 2 has some issues with SteamOS where Bazite has all the drivers. So that just means that we're going to have a more flushed out handheld version of SteamOS this next year, which is good. I mean, it's going to be essentially desktop ready too, right? With the Steam machine in some way.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they explicitly they show some footage of people using it for, non-gaming purposes like 3D modeling or coding.
True.
So
2026 is the year like SteamOS like officially really becomes released, in my opinion, like for mainstream.
Yeah. Now, I do have one question about the Steam machine specs. The micro SD card slot, is it the same one that we're gonna have with the Steam Deck?
I think so.
I really wish Valve supported faster implementations like micro SD Express, like we have with the Switch 2.
Is that necessary though? Like honestly,
in my opinion,
probably not, but it would help out a lot.
I think it would be, in my opinion, it should be necessary. And with the next Steam Deck, they should refresh that, because for a lot of games that require faster speeds for loading, it's you have to have it. Some games will break the loading screens and stuff if you don't have it. And so while the SD card's nice, it's one of the reasons I actually stopped using the SD card for a lot of gaming, and I went to just like a 2 terabyte drive, is I didn't want to worry about if the game supported the SD card speeds or not.
Another thing too is that shader cache. If you put your shader cache on your existing micro SD card on your Steam Deck, it becomes a huge stuttery mess.
Yeah.
But for a faster standard like micro SD Express, Valve could, in theory, put the shader cache on the SD card for whatever games are on your SD card, and it would be a lot faster.
It potentially could go with those speeds. Still not going to be SSD speeds, but I'm wondering if maybe they did try it and it didn't work out. Like it just wasn't working so it didn't make a big difference for. I wish I had information like that from Valve, because otherwise I think it's a big miss to not include the Express SD card slot.
I mean, like realistically, the games that I know, like if it's a 3D game and it's like within the last 3 or 4 years, I'm going to put it on the internal storage. And if it's anything else, I'll put it on my SD card. And I think that's really the only distinction I make, because, I don't know, if it's a modern-ish 3D game, then it's probably, it's possible that it will use the like speeds of the SSD, but otherwise I just don't see. I don't know.
I get to a point where I don't like to manage it, but I agree with you. Like I kind of do that too, but I have like an SD card that has all the Resident Evils on it, and some of the newer ones don't run as well because of that speed. And I just prefer to have like my labeled SD card that I can switch between my Steam Deck and my Steam machine, like they promote, to be able to just have it be categorized for me, so I don't have to keep on downloading it.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it doesn't cost way too much for them to implement this, I think Valve should implement this, at least with the...
It was probably a cost thing.
Yeah, it probably was a cost thing.
They really try to slim down the costs on all these.
I hope that in the future, with like a Steam Deck 2, we get micro SD Express.
Agreed.
Yeah, the theoretical speeds can go up to, from what I understand, 956 megabytes per second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a theoretical speed.
I thought,
but that's not what they go at right now.
I thought it was like SATA SSD speeds.
No, it's faster than SATA SSDs for sure. It uses PCIe and NVMe protocols.
Neat.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully in the future, with like a Steam machine or Steam Deck 2, we get micro SD Express support.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying they should make it a requirement. Like, Nintendo makes it a requirement for the Switch too. Like, you cannot use regular micro SDs in them anymore.
Yeah, that's silly.
But
sure.
I do think they should at least enable support for those that want the faster speeds on their micro SDs. Mm-hmm. And it might not even be necessary to buy like the highest end internal storage anymore, or even update it if they do support that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but you guys have convinced me. They should.
They want to sell that 2 terabyte version. It's all about the money with Valve.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So also the Legion Go 2 doesn't support micro SD Express either.
No.
Do we know of any PCs like that support micro SD Express?
No, truth be told, I didn't even know about the technology until Nintendo made us think about it.
Yeah.
I think there's another competing technology, isn't there?
Yeah, there's that weird little SSD in the
That's Chinese,
GPD
that's
Win.
a Chinese version. Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
We
kind of
talked
looks
about
like
that earlier.
it kind of looks like a SIM card holder, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, speaking of
Yeah.
Nintendo though, 41% price jump in DRAM. D in NAND up 8%. Their bill of materials is going up.
I mean, capitalism has essentially failed us at this point. I'll just say it. Markets adjust when there's demand; they'll make more. Samsung doesn't want to make more RAM modules because they're afraid that they're probably even afraid of like a bubble burst kind of thing where they
Yeah,
want to. They're if we make it now, if we invest now in like a couple years, that actually is going to go down, and that we'll have a facility that's worthless.
Right. Well, I
But-
mean, I would imagine that they're running their manufacturing plants probably close to 80 or 90% at capacity, right?
Mhm.
I mean, in order to adjust to this demand, it would take a decade of investment to reach the demand here. I would imagine, like to build out like the actual production scale infrastructure,
They
it
were
would be inherently deflationary for them to create more when this demand is very clearly a bubble and is going to pop. I just
It-
don't. Yeah.
Also,
it is a bubble, but like the demand could still go up over years because people buy more and more, and we need more RAM in our devices, and we're not getting more RAM in our devices like VRAM. Like, and it would be Samsung mentioned about 2 or 3 years, I think, to get there, and that's when this is all expected to go down.
Yeah.
If AI doesn't burst in the next 2 or 3 years, it won't go down. So it's a gamble, and the only people that really get hurt are us. So
yeah, speaking of RAM shenanigans, this is also affecting the smartphone industry.
Mm.
So 4 GB RAM phones are coming back, and where it has it, microSD slots may make a return to Android devices too, thanks to all this bullcrap.
Mm.
that would be
You
good,
know,
actually.
there's nothing wrong with having micro SD card slots in your phone. Like,
No, I
that's
think it's
cool.
great. I
like
think it's
that's great.
bullshit that it took them this long to bring them back. It took it took a little RAM crisis to bring this back.
Yeah. The other thing is like, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that. I mean, it is a bad thing, obviously, that like RAM prices are ridiculous and all this shit. But like, it's not a bad thing to have developers have to be like, oh, we should tighten our belts and actually like make software that's optimized and concerned with like software with hardware that is considered dated now because it's like 4 GB instead of 8 or 12 or whatever is like being shipped in modern flagship phones. It's like, dude, just how about we stop with this like bullcrap cycle of planned obsolescence and just be happy with what we have.
Mm.
Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
You're not wrong.
You're 100%
You're
correct.
right.
If a lot of the workers were getting like it was to slow down to make sure that proper pay was going to everyone. Like if it was a balancing thing for like middle class lower, I'd be for it, but it's not. It's very
Fair enough.
I mean,
kind of
truth be
squeeze
told,
every piece out of what we have.
I
is what
really
it feels
wish they went through and optimized things, but that's why NVIDIA created DLSS. It optimizes for us by lowering the resolution.
It's really hard to optimize like open world games. Certain games are really like they're not fun to optimize. It doesn't mean that they can't. And it doesn't mean and like even the Unreal Engine 5, like this 5.7 has some good optimization tools in it. It takes time for the like tech to catch up sometimes, but yeah, I think we'll be fine. Like people just hold on to their hardware now. I don't think the engine world, like games, are going to be getting crazier anytime soon. So I know some companies are saying, well, it means we're gonna like Larian's like we're gonna have to optimize now for our next game to make sure it runs on older hardware. It's like, That was a stupid comment because I'm like, you should have been doing that anyways, especially for a company like them. So I don't know. It's interesting.
The thing too is like,
Ugh.
the hardware survey, like the Steam hardware survey, 8 gigabytes of RAM has been the average for how long now? Like
Is it
quite some time
8 for like the VRAM or for
for the
VRAM.
VRAM.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's been like for almost a
Yeah.
decade. I mean, I remember like I bought a 970, a GTX 970 with, I think it was 12 gigs of RAM. And that was when the 970 came out. That was over like almost, that was probably 10 years ago or more. And it's like that's just been the way it is for 10 years. So I just don't see there's diminishing return on investment and diminishing performance with all this, like all of these upgrades, and what we're getting in exchange with these upgrades is higher costs in terms of like actually buying the hardware, but also in like the electricity costs of actually running these things with the better graphics. Who cares about graphics anymore? Like I want games that look like, Lego Batman. I don't want games that are like that look like whatever Larian's crapping out.
The nice thing, they have good games. They have good games. So
I've never played a Larian game that I like. I'm just saying that.
Well, okay. I mean, they're not games for me, but I recognize that they're really good games. I'm a huge fan of like bridging that realism. I like to see great graphics upgrades and stuff like that. I don't chase it as much these days, but I do see that VRAM has been stalled artificially by G4 or by NVIDIA to fund the AI. We should be having a little bit higher VRAM, so it does make sense with textures. But with that, they could also optimize and have us have like 2 or 3 different versions of a texture render prepared in the games to handle different sizes. Like I don't know, like this should be a non-issue.
If NVIDIA wanted to keep the gaming sheeple involved, all they would have to do is release the RTX 6000, make it less than $500 for like the top end model, because they make a shitload on AI anyways, and then that'll keep the gaming masses happy. Oh no, a $500 6090, that would make headliner, that would make all the gamers happy, all that stuff, right? But of course,
but all
NVIDIA
the C-level execs at NVIDIA would get fired.
Yeah, Adam Jensen wouldn't like that either.
Adam Jensen?
Jensen
Huang. Adam Jensen.
What's going on in here? I need a 500 gigabyte graphics card.
I never asked for this.
That's my Adam Jensen impression.
Man, I've got Deus Ex on the brain. Speaking of Deus Ex, though, actually, that was a terrible transition. Baldur's Gate 3 AI. So, there's been a lot, and I really do mean a lot, of heads turning because of this. And let me just say, man, it was a madhouse out there reading all the responses to this.
I did not. We should show some of the responses. I'll react to them because
here we go.
This is interesting. Can you zoom in and can you do like?
Oh yeah.
Plus, yeah,
can you see it better?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right. And here's Playdead making play. What does Playdead make again?
Limbo and Inside.
You can go F yourself, Larry. All right, here we go. Oh, Expedition's catching some strays too. Let's see. When you find out your goat is washed.
Wait, so what even happened? I don't know what happened.
All right, so essentially in this interview, Larian... Here, let me pull it up. Let's see. Larian is pushing hard on generative AI. Let's see. He says there won't be any AI-generated content in Divinity, but the creators do use AI tools to explore ideas, flesh out PowerPoint presentations, develop concept art, write placeholder text. And he says that some use of generative AI has led to some pushback on Larian, but I think at this point, everyone at the company is more or less okay with the way we're using it. And people were not happy about it. which pushed this response from Sven. And people did not like the response because it started with "Holy fuck, we're not pushing hard for replacing," and people were not happy about it. Let's just say. Playing
I have zero problems with this as long as they're not replacing
concept
jobs.
artists.
Concept artists is the weird one too.
Yeah, it is weird.
It takes so much time to get conceptualizing things, and storyboarding is so important, and it can take so long. So I get it, but
so in the response here, Sven says here, we use AI tools to explore references, just like we do Google and art books. At the very ideation stage, we use it for a rough outline for a composition, which we replace with original concept art. It sounds like they're using it for making concept art, even if it's a, quote, rough outline.
I mean, that's what they were saying. They're not replacing their concept artists. They're trying to get... It's interesting because I've used it a little bit for conceptualizing too, but it does not replace a concept artist. Like, it's nice to just visualize what you're trying to think about, but it doesn't, like, it will do a good enough job to replace them. And that's getting mad at this point is I think just worthless, in my opinion. I think in a couple of years, if they're replacing all the concept artists, so if they don't hire anymore and they replace them all, then that's a different story. That's when you start getting upset, I think. Is it a little premature?
The responses have been kind of crazy, though. Let's just say. Some of them are hilarious, though.
But it's the internet. You're going to have someone angry at every single thing that someone does. That's why I hate X sometimes, where you just can't go there and enjoy life.
Same studio, BT Dubs. The worst person you've ever met. Here's how AI can improve this. I don't know. He's just pointing out that this other guy at Larian is saying it doesn't seem to, I don't know.
Doesn't agree with him.
Use AI tools to explore references. How the hell am I going to go through research for my Yaoi fan art that Larian is... What? Oh. Alright, whatever. Let's see. Here's my 2 cents. I've said before that people need to get off Pinterest and ArtStation when collect a reference. So many games look, quote, generic because concept art has become self-referencing and inbred. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I always advocate for finding your own primary source. So back to AI, I hate seeing AI in mood boards. There's no value to me. There's no culture, no consideration, no material reference. Yada, yada, yada.
I disagree with like half this stuff.
I mean, to me, I just don't see the value personally in using something like Midjourney or Stable Diffusion or anything like that. I just don't see it because it always ends up looking like that soft, weird, boring AI look. And I don't know. And I'm not an artist either. I'm not a good concept artist, right? But I just don't see the point of it. I don't know. And
visualizing
also,
something you're trying to build is very useful. Using it as like the final product or final concept is a little crazy. There's a new AI image generator out there, or newer. Is it something banana?
Oh, Nano Banana.
Nano Banana is crazy good.
What is Nano Banana?
I don't know. I've heard the name.
You need to see some comparisons on like X and stuff where you're just like, you see it compared to the other AI generators and you're like, oh gosh.
Oh boy, we're gonna get canceled for...
I'm not fully against AI. I feel like I've stated this since day one. I have issues with the ethical parts of it. But I'm not against it from what I do with work.
See, I guess where it comes down to for me is there are 2 real considerations. One, AI needs to be run locally. If it's not being run locally, I don't think it's ethical. And number 2, if it's adding to the creative process, that's great. If it's detracting from the creative process, that's where it like crosses a line. And I mean, incorporating it in like the early stages of whatever, what's the word they used? Incorporating it in like the early stages of that is like
like conceptualizing
Conceptual.
storyboards.
It's like
concept art.
that's where discovery really comes from, I feel like. So if you're replacing the early stages of concept art with
Wow.
AI, I feel like you're robbing yourself of the opportunity
That's
for
crazy.
weird things to happen.
So
Yeah, I don't know in a big company. For me though, it's not. Yeah,
that's crazy how accurate this is. Like, all right, so I told it to draw Naruto with a golden AK-47. It made like a photorealistic version, which is not what I wanted.
it's getting better because it also gets those like the mistakes that regular cameras get in there. And
then I also said draw that more like Kishimoto style. He's the author of Naruto. Dude, what the fuck?
With a realistic background.
Yeah,
well,
what is going on? Dude, AI is crazy, but that's terrible though. It basically is, obviously it's trained off of Kishimoto stuff, so that's why I can draw it as accurate as it does. That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's theft, like,
But at the same time, though, I think I'm not sure if you really need to do like AI for mood boarding. You could just take a bunch of references from a bunch of different places like you could in the past, and then just do it. Or maybe have AI find it for you, but not necessarily generate it for you. That'd be a better use for AI, to be honest.
Yeah, but like, what's the difference between using just a search engine and using AI to search for you? It's like, just use the search engine, cut out the middleman.
Well, the difference is that you get a lot more investments because you're using AI instead of just Google. Because a bunch of investors are a bunch of dumb fucks that don't know the difference.
Right.
Oh, sorry, we're not allowed to curse anymore. I forgot.
Oh, I've said the F word like multiple times this episode. Sorry, dude.
Sorry.
I've done these processes. They work better than Googling things. Partially because you also get Gemini thrown in there, but
yeah, I mean,
I just don't want it to replace jobs. I don't want it to be like it to be like, okay, well, this is the art, like this is the concept art we have. Well, no, you should be using it to like not even storyboard, but to as like what is that called? Like the thought cloud.
Here's an interesting article from Rock Paper Shotgun. Yeah. Gen AI users Larian forced to build Divinity around RAM shortage caused by Gen AI.
Oh, I love it, dude. That's awesome.
So I think we were talking about this earlier, that Divinity, that they have to optimize around the fact that people can't afford RAM anymore, right? Or were we talking about a different game?
No, I mean, I did mention this specifically earlier, that Larian's going to have to optimize for what there already is, which is fine. I think they probably wanted to go a little crazier, but
I mean, here's the thing, though. What does optimization actually entail, though? Because, I mean, a lot of people just think it's some sort of magical feature where the code just runs better because you run it a little better. But, like, it would also entail having to remove things, too, sometimes.
It's not usually, like, the code. It's not the code typically.